You have selected Shuffle.
Welcome to the ShufflePod. I'm Woody.
Yo, and I am G Rizzle George.
I'm DJ.
So we've changed our who hosts our show to from SoundCloud to Podbean, and there's been it's been kind of a little bit of a hassle there, with
Train
I
wreck?
know I guess that would be a better way to say it. I know on my phone we wanted to download every one of our past episodes onto my iPod podcatcher, and I know it did it to my wife's phone too, so I had to go in there and take all the old ones off.
Thankfully, though, you and her are the only two that download our episodes, so.
Maybe. I hope not. Yeah, so if it did happen to anybody else out there, we apologize.
It's Woody's fault.
It should only happen the one time.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it should.
So on the changeover, yeah, like all that stuff about SoundCloud, man, we kept reading, and it kept saying that they were like going to fold and shit. So
Yeah, they're going to implode. Like, they got bailed out by some emergency funding, and their CEO was forced to step aside. I don't know. It sounds like they have another few months, and they're just going to tank.
yeah. And our buddies on Old Conspiring to Argue are the ones that talked us into it finally. They were like, you can be a podcast, but if you want to be a real podcast, you move that shit over to Podbean. And we were like, okay, all right.
That's how that
we're
went.
pretty superstitious. Yeah.
A little peer pressure there, yeah. So, again, just apologize if it did flood your podcatcher with old shows, but listen back to them; they're pretty
Yeah,
funny.
sorry if you're going to be entertained for some extra hours. Sorry about
And if
that.
for nothing else, I'll tell you right now, my man, our numbers are through the roof right now.
We're laughing. We just, topped out a bunch of people's memory on their phone. We're like,
Yeah.
Yipper. Hey, so Woody, what exactly do people have to do if because we were talking about that yesterday, like if they can't get the feed off of like iTunes or whatever, what do they got to do on that?
If you get your shows through iTunes, the best way to do it is to unsubscribe, resubscribe. Just hit the button and hit the button again.
I didn't do that, and I'm getting the new one. So
Right, I am too.
I think everything's
But
okay.
if for some reason, whatever podcatcher you use, in other words, whatever app you use to listen to podcasts, if for some reason that's not you're not getting a show every Sunday, like yesterday we put the show out Saturday night instead of Sunday, just because I wanted to make sure everything worked and we had the show in the can ready to go.
Sure.
So I went ahead and threw it out there last night.
Last
but,
week.
No, this is yesterday.
Oh, my God. We're recording a week ahead, Woody.
Right.
But by the time people hear this, it would be last week.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But anyways, just to make sure that it did show up on my, on my podcatcher. But so whatever app you use, if for some reason you're not seeing the shows automatically downloaded into your podcatcher, go ahead and just resubscribe, and that'll take care of that.
On a lighter note, boys, I want to give a big shout out to all the white people in Virginia giving white people a good name.
Oh my God.
What a bunch of fucking idiots.
He said
right?
on a lighter note.
Okay, look, I normally don't get into like news.
This is bad.
Because I'm a caveman. I don't understand language and stuff. But did you watch any of those videos on YouTube?
I haven't seen
No.
YouTube videos, but I saw a lot of the stuff on the news.
Some jackass with Ohio plates, of course, on their car
God,
goes
figures.
and plows through the goddamn crowd. Now, look, I get it. Okay, I'm gonna step on my soapbox for a second. Okay, I understand we have a freedom to assemble and to protest. That being said, under no circumstances do you got to be waving the Nazi, arm signs and everything else if you're a white guy trying to get a Confederate statue not removed from something.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree that people have their right to their opinion, that, even though it's completely wrong. But, I mean, they have the right to an opinion. And then the people that are there saying, hey, we disagree with you, they have the right to be there too. But
Yes.
some jackass has to fly through the whole fucking thing in what was that, a Mustang or something like that?
No, it was a Dodge Charger. I think it could have been JD. It looked like his car.
He doesn't have that anymore. It might be his old car.
Maybe. I mean, that thing, they ran into like a clump of people and then ran backwards, put it in reverse, and went down the street.
Did they catch that guy? Or
Okay. I saw video of 2 cars hitting each other. Some poor bastard had to jump up onto the hood and stuff, and it was embarrassing. I mean, as white or black, Hispanic, whatever color, as a human being, that's embarrassing. You know, because, I mean, like, we have this podcast so we can get across our opinions and our ideas and convey something, okay? I normally don't attack people, but jeez, oh, Pete, man.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want to convey a point and stuff, why are you doing a Nazi salute? That has nothing to do with your freedom as an American. I don't get it.
Just to get people angry and worked up. I mean, that's the only thing it can.
No, I don't think it is just to get people angry. I think there's a lot.
Oh, it's gotta be.
I think there's a lot of people that have been very much feeling this way for a long time, and now they're feeling pretty empowered. They're seeing, oh, there's more of us. There's more of us. Let's assemble.
You know what? You're getting into a real, what? I hate to say it, but a lot of people are like, well, they're feeling emboldened because our president thinks like they do. You know what? I really don't think that man's a racist. I mean, I don't think he's a great president. That's for damn certain. But I don't think he's.
It's not necessarily him. It's the fact that the people who are outright supporting him, like David Duke, and Trump did not come out and say, this guy is not what I represent. He's just like, we take all the support we can get. And that's pretty much what he says about it. And then everyone's like, oh, well, yeah, he is like us. Now, I'm not saying he is like them, but they're thinking he is because he won't condemn them.
And I think it gives people an excuse to act like complete idiots. Right. Is that kind of what you guys think?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in that mindset. Like, I'm not down there and you know, so maybe you're right. I just have a hard time believing that people are that fucking close-minded.
Well, look at the videos of the march.
Now, I understand there are some Ku Klux Klan people out there that actually believe in the cause and things like that, and are that close-minded and just shut off from the rest of society. But I would hope to think that the most majority of people out there think like we do, just like, you know.
Yeah, the majority
like
of the people
all just
do.
one person.
But the majority of the people do. But that's not the problem. The problem is all the people that used to be hidden, having these beliefs in private, are now proud of them. Running out, protesting, showing their faces. This never used to happen.
Yeah.
People say, oh, it's history. It's history. No, it's not fucking history. It was the only thing that really threatened this country's history. It was, you know, the Civil War.
It's the only thing that this country has gone to war inside itself.
Right.
That.
It tried to take over this country. They claim to love this country so much. We're so patriotic. We love this country. And then they wave the flag of the only entity that tried to take over this country. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Let's look at this. How embarrassing is it that if you took each single person individually in that crowd and you just sat them down and asked them clearly what their thoughts are, none of them, the vast majority of them, would never, ever. I was embarrassed. Not to be white, not to have black friends or anything like that, just to be a human being. That is absolutely appalling.
I think the best thing they can do with this is get all the news crews down there and get really, really good close-up shots of everybody's face and just publicize the shit out of them. Because those people will lose their jobs. And then they'll understand what it's actually like to be oppressed.
Yeah,
you know,
I guess you're
they're
right.
They're
or the
claiming
other thing
that they're oppressed. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Or don't give them any attention at all.
See, that's what I think.
No,
I mean,
that's not reality. That's not going to happen.
It's not reality, but that's why it got to the way it got, and that's why people did what they did, is to get the news media down there, and you know,
well, now
otherwise it would have just been a local thing.
Right. Now that they're there, show all their faces.
I absolutely agree.
Why does the Klan wear hoods? Because they don't want their faces shown. These idiots are out there on the street not thinking that they're going to be on TV. Put them on TV. Take their pictures. Plaster them all over Facebook. Let everybody know these guys' families, their coworkers. Let them know who they are. Get it out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's what you wanted, asshole.
All right.
I was real quick. Well, to get off the subject here, really try and get it back to what are your. Did anybody have any? What, George? Did you have something else you wanted to say? I'm sorry.
No, it just pissed me off.
It's horrible.
Last night.
So I've been thinking about why everything went bad with our switchover yesterday, and I think I know what happened. We did it at DJ's house, and his cat, his black cat, was back and forth in front of us the whole day.
Yep. Kept crossing. I'm very superstitious.
So I looked into this.
Writings on the wall.
And the only way to negate this bad luck is we need to eat the cat.
It's not something as simple as throwing salt over our shoulder. We have to actually physically eat the cat.
It's gone way farther than that.
That cat gave me a swollen, weepy left eye yesterday. Because
you loved him so much you teared up.
Cats. And I itched my eye leaving your house. And from the time I pulled onto the street from your driveway, I got to the end of the street where you turn left, that kind of thing, on whatever street that is. I don't want to announce where you live. But yeah, my eye swelled up, and it was like all weepy.
Now, wait a minute.
Wait
a minute. You're saying you're allergic to the cat, but it happened when you left the cat. Maybe you're allergic now to not being around cats.
I don't think that's it at all.
do.
And that's a horrible correlation. Like I'm allergic to
when you
your
were
cat,
when you
like
were
not
around
being
Mr.
it.
Black, you weren't itchy. When you left Mr. Black, you began to itch.
It's clear that Mr. Black has some hygiene issues. He's actually a very clean. He's a very clean, classy cat. He sat there. He actually turned his back to us.
He stared at
and
the
would
wall.
But the only time he was like, "I'll entertain you, young lads," is when he killed that fly out of midair.
Yeah.
And did you notice how DJ and his wife went batshit crazy when he was hunting that fly? They're like, kill it, kill it, kill it!
Oh my God, they were like just crazy.
It's like watching the Hunger Games with us.
The greatest part is when DJ's wife called her mother and was like, "Mom, this ShufflePod needs you." I laughed about that all the way home. And when I got home, I told Jamie about it. I said it was absolutely hilarious. The ShufflePod needs you.
And I love how the whole time she's talking to her mom, trying to tell her mom step by step what to do. I was laughing at myself because I do that with my parents constantly. It's like, okay, get your phone. Okay, put your phone in your left hand, take your right hand, make a pointer finger, and use that finger and touch the little button that says F, the little black or a blue square with a white F in it. Touch that. Now I need you to no, the blue one. It's just like it's just like what I do with my parents.
Yep.
Oh man! But today we're talking about superstitions. Anybody?
Superstition.
Anybody got any of their own that you kind of believe in?
I had a couple of small ones when I played hockey when I was younger. I would always have to wrap my stick in the same direction every time. The same exact pattern for wrapping. I would take a couple Sudafed before each game to help open up my sinuses and help me breathe, because it's a lot of heavy breathing out there playing. Just some other small things, like the order I would put my equipment on would always be the same.
Wouldn't the Sudafed make you just tired?
No, it opens you up. It gets you. You can breathe easier. It opens up your airways.
Wasn't Gretzky real superstitious with hockey? He had to. What, did he put baby powder on his...
Gretzky powdered his stick, which I never really understood. It's kind of like,
Yeah, he said it would keep it from breaking, and it was baby powder.
Yeah, LeBron does I don't know if he still does, but he always did the talc, the baby powder thing before the game. Yeah, there's a lot of athletes have some weird ones, man. Wade Boggs used to eat chicken before every game. Put that into perspective. He ate fried chicken before every game. They play 162 games a year. And the guy played for how many years, George? 20?
Yeah, isn't he the one that drank 53 beers on a flight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There's an episode of
That's
Sunny
my
where
dude.
they try to do that. They all wear white
Yeah,
T-shirts and they're making hash marks.
Google here.
It's great.
But you gotta figure, okay, so he's eating fried chicken before every game, but his his job is physical. You know, it's more of a workout than we'll get in a month.
I'm sorry, he drank 107 beers.
Yeah. How?
He's a raging alcoholic, most likely.
Yeah. It was a flight from Philadelphia to L.A., wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Which is just ridiculous. I would have... What's the most beer you've drank, DJ?
Little over a case. That's the night I've got
Same
a huge
here.
scar on the back of my head from a big fight that night.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had 12 beers in one night.
Woody?
What's that?
I think Woody had at least not beers, but cocktails.
Yeah, I had...
At your wedding, he was so upset that
14
his beau was getting married. And he cried because he didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, he did.
Well, I had probably it was 14 or 15 drinks, and I went to go lean on a table, and the table just, it wasn't going to hold me. And I started to go down, the table started to flip over. George, out of nowhere, scooped us both up, set us both back on our feet, and then, I got a little upset after that. I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah. Which you weren't that guy until you started crying, so you
yeah.
didn't want to be that guy. That's when you became that guy.
What about you, George?
Unfortunately, I've been there.
What about you with the beer?
A little over a case. I remember I drank a 30-pack of Natty Light. Yeah, that was horrible. But it was like I didn't get drunk on it. You ever have that where you're just drinking?
I get that sometimes, but not that night I
Yeah.
drink mine. Oh, I was hammered.
Big fight, though,
Big fight. Took a bar stool over the back of the head.
You took a bar stool over the back of the head?
That's that big scar on the back of my head.
You poor bastard. Yeah. Did you actually have stitches?
Yeah, I had to go in. My whole shirt was blood. Like, it just ran out. Like, I could feel hot water. And I'm like, I felt, I'm so drunk. Who's pouring hot water on me? That's my thought. Oh, it's not. It's my own blood.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
You crazy, angry man.
It was bad.
God, how old were you when that happened?
It was like a week after graduation, so 18.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
Maybe 2 weeks after. It was right around, Rough night.
Man, oof.
Rough night.
What about you, George? Do you have any superstitions?
With your guitars or anything? Or?
Yeah.
Well, with my guitars, there's a couple of them that I talk to and hug. Like, I'll just be sitting there with them, and, I'll have them in my lap, and I'll just lean on the neck and, just kind of cuddle them. But I don't know if that's so much a superstition.
That's
other than
crazy.
Just being weird.
Yeah.
When I'm setting up a guitar and I'm cleaning them and all that stuff, I talk to them. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like I'm a crazy cat lady with guitars.
Okay.
I guess.
Now you're speaking my language.
It's not so crazy now, is it? I don't really have any superstitions per se, other than when I go into work, I'm like, don't get raped, don't get raped, don't get raped.
And so far, you haven't been raped.
No, and I haven't. It's worked every time. Yeah. So yeah. How about you, Woody?
I have a lot of things that I irrationally believe in. Like that whole I've been listening. No, I've been listening to that last podcast on the left, and it is good.
Hell yeah, it's good.
But every time at the end when the guy's like, "Hail Satan," I'm like, oh, come on! Why do you have to ruin this whole show with that? Just
that's his opinion.
Granted, yeah. I just ooh.
Oh my God! I laugh so hard when he tells me this.
I just
Hey,
so that's
Woody.
the thing. You're irrational,
Satan.
God-fearing.
Am I editing this one?
No.
Nope, me. That's staying in.
How about this? If somebody wants to play the podcast backwards, they can play it at this part in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nataz is my dog. Oh, wait, Nataz see a yum dog. So if they play it backwards, it'll be like Satan is my God. So there you go.
Woody's freaking out right now. He's just rubbing hand sanitizer all over his body.
He's got holy water. He's throwing it on the computer.
It's
no, I guess I don't know, man. So yours, Woody, are more religious fear based, or
I don't know. Maybe, honestly, I think a lot of it stems from like growing up in the '80s with all that, that whole satanic panic thing. Like, yeah. I realize that it's not, it's not going to affect me. But man, I get it might. It makes me nervous.
It might.
How about the one of your superstitions is with the cheese?
That's not superstition. That just tastes better.
That's just fact.
That's a superstition. You just grab a piece of string cheese in the butt. It's actually...
How about over the course of the last week, we get a picture on our group text of the fucking sitting on cheese while he's driving.
The greatest thing was is just the tip of the one piece of cheese was sticking out.
And I have a feeling he had to pull the tip out to take the picture. Otherwise, we wouldn't understand.
I looked at it. I was like,
oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I'm guessing normally it's all under there.
Oh, yeah. It's all the way in. He ties a string through the little hole
and puts it right inside.
Cheese, and it's how he pulls it out. Yeah.
Oh God.
Just try it. Take a piece of cheese, like string cheese, and I'm not saying sit on it. I'm saying leave it out for 15 minutes on the counter, and then go back and try it.
I told people
better.
about this, and they said, "Why does he not leave it on the dashboard of his truck?"
Yeah, I've had the same.
Because I have a refrigerated cooler in the truck, right? So when I'm hungry, like when I eat my lunch or whatever, I'll go in there, I'll get the cheese out of there, and I'll stick it under my leg, and then I'll grab the sandwich, whatever sandwich I've got, and I'll eat my sandwich, and then by the time I'm done eating my sandwich, the cheese is warmed up sufficiently.
Why don't you just take the cheese out in the morning and just put it somewhere you can reach in the truck and just leave it there all day? That's what the point was.
Because there's really nowhere I can set it that, like, if I hit a bump or whatever, it won't go flying, like, off on the ground by the passenger seat, where I can't just, like, get up out of my seat and lean over and...
I got it. You need to get pocketed shirts and always keep a couple cheese sticks in your pocket. It can be your thing.
Keep my cheese close to my heart.
It can be your thing. Or when you go into
or I could just stick it under my leg as I'm eating.
When
my
you
sandwich.
go into stops, you'll have cheese in your pocket. It'll be great.
Pull it out. You could carry like cereal in there, like Cheerios. You could be.
It would be really good. Everyone would be like, "Oh, here's that cheese guy again."
All right, let's run into talking about superstitions, like in cultures and stuff. And I think the first obvious one is the number 13. The number 13 is like kind of my lucky number because my birthday's September 13th, and stuff. So, and like I always have a 13 correlating somewhere in all my passwords and all that stuff, which if you guys subscribe to Patreon, I'll give you my passwords to all my stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, like the number 13, Woody, why do you think that is the number?
I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I know in China, number 4 is the unlucky number. And it's because of the way that the character is written. It looks a lot like the way the character of Death is written. Why 13 here?
I don't know either.
I never found an answer.
It says there is a term for the fear of number 13.
Right.
It's triskaidekaphobia. Yeah, but it's across many cultures the belief that the number 13 is evil. It brings bad luck so strong that many hotels, offices, and apartment buildings do not have or recognize the 13th floor. Airports don't have a 13th gate. It says one theory is, why the number 13 exists is that Judas, who betrayed Jesus, was the 13th person to be seated at the Last Supper.
Okay, I can see that then. I never knew that's what it went back to.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I don't. And it says here in 1881, a group of New Yorkers they formed a club called the 13th Club. And it was the first meeting took place on Friday the 13th at 8:13, and 13 people sat down in a dining room. And it says
the piano fell right on
each
their
one
heads.
walked under a ladder and sat down around piles of salt. Needless to say, the guests survived. For the next 40 years, the 13 clubs cropped up all over the U.S. Why tempt fate, though? If there is like some correlation to it, why would you join that club?
I would join that club.
You know what? I think. Listen, I don't want to be a white supremacist. I don't want to do this, and this. I'm going to join the 13 Club.
Okay, so you understand that, like, you don't want to tempt fate with that. That's why I don't want to joke around with Satanism. That's kind of my whole point with it. It's like, why would I even tempt fate with that?
You think if if you hear somebody say "Hail Satan," that you're gonna be?
No. I don't think. I'm not worried for myself. I'm worried for them.
Oh my god.
Or I'm worried that like maybe I shouldn't be listening to this because it could, it could sway me. Not sway me.
Oh my god.
That I was completely wrong.
You crazy son of a bitch.
Woody just wants to break out of that shell. He wants to go to the dark side. He's waiting for something to sway him, and he doesn't want to listen to that stuff.
No, that was the wrong word to say. I guess I didn't mean sway me.
I guess that was the wrong word.
I don't know. It's a tempting fate thing, I guess. And the more I sit down and look at it, the more I realize how silly it is. But the same with like wrapping your stick a certain way in hockey. I mean, I'm sure if you really sat down and thought about it.
It does nothing.
Right. So why is mine so fucking crazy?
Because I'm not worried about my salvation by wrapping my hockey stick.
But you don't believe there is salvation, so...
True. Very true.
I do believe that there is a salvation, but I choose to not be, I guess, that. I don't know the word for it.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, without being insulting.
Wow.
That radical
There you
with
go.
my belief.
That's a much better term. Radical.
I just...
Since when are we worried about insulting Woody on this podcast?
That's a good point.
Well, that's true. How about spilling salt?
You know what? If I do, I will do the little thing over the shoulder. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I think it's kind of cool, like a little,
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I've actually spilled salt, so that's not a thing for me. Never spilled. I mean, what do you do? Just accidentally open the salt shaker and then accidentally knock it over?
No, I mean, but if you're... See, it's getting rarer and rarer that they're leaving salt on the table anymore. If you do knock over the salt shaker, a little bit of salt comes out. You don't have to take the top off.
Oh, so that's considered spilling if 1 or 2 grains?
Yeah.
Okay. I've done that then.
Yeah, allegedly, because they use salt in a lot of rituals and stuff. So,
okay.
I guess you could do like a salt thing around you and spirits can't get you. Which might be, Woody, you might want to look into that. Just taking salt and putting it around
fill a hula
your
hoop full of salt and just carry it around with me everywhere I go?
Yep. I think so.
Yeah, and then you can listen to all those podcasts.
Right.
Yeah, then the devil ain't going to get you.
Put salt all over your phone or like make a ring around your earphones.
He'll have a ring of tater tots around him.
They're salted.
What? They're all salted. But yeah, basically, the spilling of salt and stuff occurs because it's like used in magic, but it's also one of the main reasons was because it was a very expensive trading commodity, and spilling it was very wasteful, which is why they did. And I think that may be more so than just the magic, because if you break down
like
at its core, money. It's really, really expensive. So you're going to put something on there, be like, hey, if you spill salt, the devil's going to jump in your face. Then people are like, oh, I got to be real careful with the salt, and they're not wasting it.
So then why would you take part of that wasted salt and throw it over your shoulder?
I think that probably came later.
You think so?
Yeah.
That was almost like making it rain.
Making it rain to the spirits.
And did you know that Judas is actually spilling the salt in the Last Supper photo?
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm serious. There is another Christian belief. It says
so full of
it
shit,
is believed that good spirits exist.
He's full of shit.
It says here, at one time, salt was an expensive trading commodity. Spilling it was considered wasteful and frowned upon. This could be brought fear into a person who spilled it. Also, there is a connection that the spilled salt is unlucky because Judas is portrayed as the one.
You can tell when he's really reading and when he's not, because he goes from robot to just regular voice.
I will share my screen with you right now, and I swear to God, this is what it is.
Don't swear to God that's unlucky.
Can you see my screen?
I'm looking it up.
It's right here.
Conveniently, it doesn't work anymore.
There. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here. See where?
I'm looking up my own picture. Of the
right
Last
here.
Supper. This is great pod.
Judas is portrayed as the one spilling salt.
I'll be darned, he's right.
Apologize to me, Woody.
I'm sorry, George. I apologize.
You're welcome.
You're absolutely right.
Which one's Judas?
The guy spilling the salt.
Can't see anybody spilling any salt.
He's the 13th one sitting at the table.
He would be to the right.
To the right?
If the person's facing you, it would be to the right of the center of the table.
I don't see any spilled salt.
You're also looking at it on an iPhone.
No, I'm zoomed way in, though. I Googled the image, and now I'm, like, zooming in.
Judas is the one. He's sitting, he's wearing blue. He's got a blue cloak and a white shirt underneath it. He's holding a napkin next to some stuff. It looks like it could be sliced ham.
But don't you think that spilled... I mean, obviously this is a painting. This isn't a picture of what actually happened. Don't you think that person put that in as a symbolism?
Yeah, I think Da Vinci, who painted The Last Supper, put it in as a symbolism because Judas was the one that betrayed Jesus. So, yes. But it's still kind of unlucky.
Right.
You know? Now, do you believe in the broken mirror superstition?
I don't really believe in any of them, really. I mean...
Just wrapping the hockey stick.
Yeah.
Do you guys know where that broken mirror one comes from?
Go ahead and let me know.
All right, I guess it's an ancient Greek.
I see it. Sorry, I see it. The spilled salt. I found it.
You apologize to me, too?
Go ahead, Woody. Sorry.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great night.
So it's an ancient Greek kind of thing where they used to tell fortunes by reflections in mirrors and that. Mm-hmm. And supposedly, if the mirror was like tainted or wavy or cloudy or whatever, or distorted in any way, that could affect your future. If it was reading the future or whatever.
Oh. Okay.
So. And then the Greeks also believed in like a 7-year cycle of like health and sickness. So it's kind of like where that thing where you hear that every 7 years, every cell in your body has been replaced.
Yeah.
That kind of comes from that Greek thought because that's not true.
Okay.
Is there any correlation? Is that true that every cell is replaced
No.
every 7 years, or is it sooner than that? Because I think
think about this,
die
George.
quicker,
If that was
don't
true, then if you had a tattoo, you wouldn't in 7 years.
Right.
they? But they do fade.
Right. But that doesn't mean that,
No, that the sun fades the ink.
Right.
Well, no, but the pigment, the dermal, it goes down into multiple layers of skin. So maybe it does actually.
No.
But it never goes away. Like if those cells died off and were gone, then the tattoo would just be gone.
You grow
after
new
7
skin
years.
over it eventually and stuff, but like
Yeah.
it's not every cell is replaced ever. Your brain cells are your brain cells.
Right, you're not a brand new person every 7 years.
Okay. I feel like a new person every morning. You're right.
Woo!
I greet the day.
He's very happy.
I am happy. I'm a happy guy.
How about
Moise
Alou, the old baseball player? Remember him?
Would pee on his hands?
Piss on his hands to harden them up.
Oh.
Crazy part is that actually softens your hands.
It softens your hands.
And Madonna pees on her feet
I've heard that too.
because it keeps your feet soft, which is probably why my feet are soft, because I urinate every time I'm in the shower. I
So-
cannot not do it.
And I'm the gross one for sitting on covered cheese.
I also urinate in the shower.
Woody, you pee in the shower
Woody
too.
shits in the shower.
Woody shits right down the drain.
Rocks out a big log right there in the bathtub.
It's just like this big fat fiber log. He's like, "Argh!" And that's how the bathwater stays in.
Jesus.
So nasty.
To each his
No,
own.
Woody, do you pee in the shower? Woody,
I
have you ever
really
peed in the shower?
Oh, I have, but I don't.
Okay, all right. So you can't make fun of us.
I guess not.
Everybody pees.
That's right.
Boy, this show's entertaining here today. Jesus.
Oh, don't say that. Ooh, the devil's coming.
He's coming.
I realize.
better watch yourself.
There's no point. No
What?
point.
What's the matter?
No, I understand that it's silly to think that I'm going to be subjected to bad luck or something like that because somebody else is saying "Hail Satan."
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's the one that sticks with me.
No, I get it. I mean, everybody's got, like, I knock on wood, and I don't know why. I mean, I just do. And that's an old superstition, too.
Do you know where that knocking on wood comes from?
No.
No,
People think that it originated from grabbing their crucifix, their wooden crucifix. Like it was as for good luck, for hope. For what's that called? God, I hope this doesn't happen, and they grab their crucifix.
Yeah, and then people kiss their crucifix, too, and stuff.
Right. So they thought
Yeah.
that kind of later on, when you don't have a wooden crucifix around your neck,
Knock on wood.
when that kind of went out of style, people were
Knock
just
on wood.
finding wood to knock on.
Yep. I usually knock on my erection.
Rock hard.
Just knock on the side of it. I'm a real virile son of a bitch.
Got another one. Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Arguably the best basketball player of all time.
Yep.
Always wore his college North Carolina shorts underneath his NBA uniform. Every game.
Really?
Yep, every game.
Yeah. Yep.
Athletes are the weirdest people as far as superstitions.
They are.
There's some crazy.
I mean, like, there are people that, like, refuse to wear socks and, stuff like that. I mean, just, like, crazy shit.
Serena Williams, she...
Oh, doesn't she do the 5 bounces before the first serve?
She might, but that is... I was going to say, when a tournament starts, she won't change her socks till the end of the tournament. But she also might do the pre-serve stuff. I didn't see that.
Let's think about sneezing. Oh my gosh, sneezing! I think is yes. Woody, you asked me at the beginning, is there superstitions? I do, and I say bless you every time somebody sneezes. And if I don't, I will walk up to him later and be like, bless you. Sorry, I forgot to bless you when you sneezed. That one.
I do not.
Wow.
Do that. I say,
because,
you gonna be all right? That's what I say after a sneezing.
Or
fit.
you can't sneeze with your eyes open. Have you ever tried doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
But that's like they say, like, when you sneeze, your heart stops. It doesn't.
It's also
That's not
orgasm. Your heart stops at an orgasm. That's also not true.
I'd be flatlined all the time as much as I sneeze.
I thought you were going to say as much as I finish.
You ever do both of those at the same time?
I mean, what's that?
Do you ever do both of those at the same time? No, because if you did, you'd be dead.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that.
There's none. You'd be like, hi, done. Flatlined. Then Keanu Reeves is trying to bring you back, like, we got to bring him back, because he's from Flatliners, right?
They say that's how Calvin Coolidge died.
I've heard that. Look it up.
Allergies,
Fact.
but he was a complete sex addict. That's something that people don't know about Calvin Coolidge.
The more you know.
I don't even know who Calvin Coolidge is.
He was our
He
president.
was a president.
Not my president. Which one was he? He's not my president.
Well, didn't he and his wife, someone sent them, I guess he had this big thing where, he liked to use the gifts that were sent to him, be seen, someone sent him a cane, so he made sure that he was using, he used that cane and stuff. And then, some lady sent him a live raccoon with a recipe on how to prepare it for Thanksgiving, and then it was delicious and stuff like that, and, they
He's
really
like,
fretted
son
over
of a
this.
bitch.
Yeah, they really fretted over what they're going to do with it. And finally, the day after Thanksgiving, the reporters come into the White House and he's like, listen, I absolutely did not kill and eat that raccoon. We've decided to make it a pet. And so his wife would be seen walking it on a leash and holding it and hugging it, and I think they named it Rebecca. It's just the craziest thing. That they had a pet raccoon in the White House.
That would get in the trash all the time.
Trash panda.
And the people would be like, I can't keep the lids on because those fucking things have thumbs. Yeah. Well, people also thought sneezing was demons entered into you.
Well, because they thought that that's when your heart stopped, that there was a portion of time there between when your heart stopped and your soul could be released, or...
And that's just assuming that a demon is constantly beside you just waiting.
That makes sense.
Just throwing pollen in your face or something. That's the lowest level demon. The sneeze demon.
Come on, man.
I'll give you itchy, watery eyes.
Do it.
Go ahead, sneeze. I dare you. I'm gonna give you a runny nose.
You are freaking Woody out right now.
Yeah, the poor bastard. He's going to be afraid to sneeze.
He is going to
don't try
he's going to
it.
get addicted to Claritin and Benadryl now. He's going to be falling asleep at the wheel.
He's like, guys, I shove Claritin pills in my ass and then cheese.
Gotta not sneeze.
That's how you get it in there faster, is you just anally take it. Lowest level demon.
The sneeze demon. I will make you sneeze. You will have a bad night's sleep as you hack and sniffle all through the night.
Yeah, that's the one. That's, the sneeze demon wasn't the one that came in and got, what's-her-face, from The Exorcist, where,
Linda Blair.
Linda Blair. Initially, the sneeze demons would actually enter, lower your immune system. That way, the bigger, powerful, more demons could jump in. Yep, that's it.
I'm only active during the fall in the bloom of spring. bring.
Yeah, they come out.
I
just
really
crazy
think Sneeze Demon should be a reoccurring character in the show.
I think my
love
fantasy football team name will be
The Sneeze Demons. For 16 weeks, we will beat you on the field. 'Cause you won't be able to breathe. You'll wear breathe right strips and they won't work.
Yeah, Sneeze Demon will come onto the show at least once a month.
I
So
like Sneeze Demon a lot, man.
Sneeze Demon is pretty much the shit. So all right, boys, I think that's pretty much it, right?
That's all I got, man. This
yeah.
show went crazy.
All right.
I love it.
Might as well stop on the Sneeze Demon and
Go get yourself an allergy shot. It won't work.
so yeah,
The side effects include watery eyes, anal discharge, and fissures.
what?
Fissures, I
I'm dying.
Fissures.
The demon of cheese.
And your butthole will cause you a fissure. You will be nicked in your anal wall by the plastic. Because I'm going to make you
He's
sneeze.
gonna be hanging
All right, boys.
garlic
Until
on him.
next week. Have a great one. This was
All right.
fun. It went off the rails big
It
time.
did, but that's what we do.
All right, boys. Take care until
ya.
next week. Oh,
All right,
Woody.
see ya. Well, yeah.
Let them know how can they get a hold of us and let them know about the Podbean again.
Okay, the ShufflePod.com. You can listen to our shows. It'll take you right to our Podbean account where it lists all our shows. Leave us an email. You can follow us on Twitter, all the social media, or you can support the show by the support the show button. Just $0.25 a show.
It's cheap.
And we'll keep the Sneeze Demon away from us.
So we
right,
appreciate
boys.
anything everybody gives.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, until next week.
All right.
Adios.
See you later. Oh, and don't
Bye.
forget to flick your Podbean.
I love it.
Knock on wood.